Alo Minglava, my greetings to the international community. It has been some time since I have addressed you all, but I must speak out today as it marks the anniversary of the darkest day in our history. On this day, 1 year ago, our young and fledgling democracy was crushed by a military terrifying at the very thought of genuine peace and democracy. A military too selfish and narrow-minded to even keep up the pretense of democracy if it means the possibility of relaxing their grip on power. To that end, they committed treason and put the results on display for the world to see. We have all watched how in just 1 year, over 1,000 of our people have been slain in cold blood by the foot soldiers of repressive military regime. Countless more have died of starvation, exposure, and disease. As I speak, millions of the people of Myanmar face an uncertain future with no place to call home and no food to put on the table. Every day we took one step towards victory, towards freedom, towards democracy. But even as we claw our way forward, as we push the military back, the humanitarian crisis is worsening. Victory over the military will not be enough to undo the last 12 months of war-torn devastations, the unchecked spread of COVID-19, the wholesale destructions of fields and factories, the theft of foods and medicines, and the psychological trauma of uncontainable and unspeakable violations of crime against humanity and human rights. These will take months and if not years to overcome. During this year of conflict, the military has not only caused our nation to stagnate, but they have also set us back by decades. If my word sounds familiar or even repetitive, it's because what I say to you today has been true for months. We have done everything in our power to keep international community aware of the plight of the Myanmar people. Every lie, every theft, every war crime, every violation, every offense against humanity itself. Myanmar have been drifted from international community's focus. But as we mark 365 days of oppression, I pray international community will spare a moment to consider this. The people of Myanmar pass every day in fear and suffering. Every statistic, every victim of the junta's maniac is a person, a human being, a life gone too short. Every person suffering food shortage today went to bed hungry yesterday. Every day, day before yesterday, day after that, and every day of the months. They have no choice but to send their children to bed hungry every night, knowing that when the sun arises, they will still be unable to provide them with food. They hope the day after will bring change, but inevitably it brings them a day closer to starvation, with no oxygen, medical facilities. COVID-19 is burning through much of Myanmar, and the families can do nothing but gather around sick family members and comfort them as they spend their last days or hours on the floor gasping for a breath that will never come, and knowing that their family members are likely to suffer the same fate soon after. If my words sound repetitive, it is because this nightmare repeats every day, every night for tens of millions of human beings in Myanmar, and if there is no end in sight. Over the past 360 days, we have implored and asked the international community to take immediate and decisive action. With your and international community's help, this conflict could end. We could begin to rebuild and care for the sick and injured and return to the time without fear and terror. We could build a great nation that embodies all the virtues the development world holds dear. And yet, this to end, we have made precious little headway. With scant little support from abroad, our people have taken up the burdens and leap headlong into the blaze. They martyr their own life in the fight against tyranny and fascism. They will do anything for a dream of a free and democratic nation of Myanmar. Through this baptism of fire, they have become hardened, resilient, and unshakable. They will be victorious. Of this I am certain. The ingenuity, strength, and single-minded dedication of our people beggar belief. The military cannot win this battle of worlds in the long march to freedom. Will take no single step back. It's not a matter of if, but of when. And how many more lives will not live to see our nation born anew? Those allies who have come to our aid in this darkest time, we humbly say thank you and know that Myanmar will never forget you and your contribution, without which many more lives would have been lost. However, sadly, many in the international community still hesitated to take actions to oust the military junta and bring an end to the nightmare and the power-crazed general and his short-sighted genocidal military that have visited the people they have sworn to protect. If you so choose, the international community can end the war tomorrow with no single drop more of blood drawn. Against the combined will of the world, the junta is nothing, but in actions will draw out this already protracted conflict, and life will be senselessly tossed away in the pursuit of despot's fantasy. It's not too late. The fate of millions hung on the balance. Ending the war today will save countless lives. The moral case is clear. The strategy is clear. The political case is clear. There cannot be reasons for hesitations or delay. As you consider the last 365 days of suffering and loss of our 54 million people of Myanmar, consider what you can do today to alleviate their suffering. This year, I hope to see all of you on the front lines of justice, freedom, and democracy. Let the second year of the coup be its last. Yedopo Aoyami. Yedopo Aonebi. Thank you. May God bless you. Help us spread the world by liking, sharing, commenting. Subscribe and ring the bell icon to stay up to date with the latest events from Myanmar. And if you can't, unblock the ads. And all proceeds will go to helping the victims of the military and ending of the coup.